Today I've got a really special guest to introduce you to, somebody who's actually had a journey of goal setting in her life, and it's changed her life, and she's about to change your life. So listen in. So I'd like to introduce Vanessa Botha from Journey to Health ZA. Greetings to you, Vanessa. How are you doing today?
Hi, David. Yes, I'm doing great. And thanks for having me this morning. It's quite chilly, but I'm looking forward to the day.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, Vanessa, you know what? I think the best way for you to start describing your business is to tell us the potential problems that your customers have and what they experience that you resolve. And I believe you've got some nice stories to tell us in this respect. So over to you, Vanessa.
Thank you, David. I want to start with my most heart-moving story. In December, a 69-year-old man sat on my couch and said to me, the doctor told him that if he did not change his lifestyle, even though he was struggling with a superbug for many years, where he would spend 6 months in hospital being on a drip, antibiotics, he's gone from one dietitian to another, to one program to another, but nothing actually worked. And within 6 months of walking a journey with us, the doctor said to him, listen, his name is Willie, if you did not change your lifestyle, you would not have been alive today. So to me, that is my core essence of my program, of what I do, is to help people that want to live longer or that have a current problem and they want to either address it or manage it. He still has the superbug, but the superbug's not influencing his life at all. So that is one of my clients, is a superbug where the doctors just say, we can't do anything for you. Another lady, she's a 27-year-old nurse. Her stomach was big like this, rock hard, and the doctor said to her, you're pregnant. And the pregnancy test came back and said, she's not pregnant. And they just said, we don't know what to do with you. She's got chronic inflammation. She's struggling to stand and walk. She's got constant pain in her feet. Now, within 2 months, her stomach went down because I was walking a journey with her habits, her eating, identifying key areas of concern. And people would say, where's the baby? And she was like, I was never pregnant. And just helping her, realizing what is happening. And now she's with me for 1.5 years, and she's already lost 8 kilograms of fat. I don't do weight, fat, but her pain in her ankles are gone. She looks amazing. Her relationship with her husband has improved immensely. Even the husband came to see me because he thought I was this genie in a bottle that is in Egypt, because he didn't believe that someone could actually help his wife after doctor couldn't help them. Now, the next story I want to tell you about is couples. I solve couple problems. No, not those types of problems, but a lot of times one of them likes sport and is healthy. The other one doesn't like sport and isn't healthy. Now, what I do is they come and see me together and I change the household. So I help the one that's athletic to improve his performance, and the one that is a little bit unhealthy to become more healthy. What does that entail at the end? They have more energy for each other. They have more energy for the kids, more energy for work. I challenge them to start doing hobbies again and just to have date nights. But a lot of times people know they have a problem. They just need someone to talk to, identify, and just to give them strategies on how to go to that, Then the last story I want to tell you is a mother of 4. Now, this is a dynamic woman. She looks after her 4 children, her husband. And when any mom wants help with picking up a kid, dropping off a kid, whatever, she's always there. But what has happened to her in the last 10 years? She's gained 10 to 20 kilograms. She's not looking after herself. She's looking after everyone else except herself. Now, when we met each other at a Women's Day, she said she wants to come see me. Now we've walked a journey for a year, and she's half her size. She's got more energy. She dresses beautifully, and her children are happier. She has more energy, and she was suffering from depression. And now she's even decreased those dosages. So to me, that's very important. And sorry, this is my last story, is a CEO of a company, an accountant. He is retiring the end of this year. He's selling his company that he's built up for 25 years. And he heard about me from his friend that has the superbug. And he was very skeptical. You know, accountants, they want to see the numbers. And luckily, I have studied risk management. That is my degree. And all of my processes are based on data and on numbers. He said to me, he wants to retire first, and then he wants to start looking after his health. Then I told him the story of my father. At 59, he still wanted to work 5 years before he started looking after himself. But he didn't get that chance. He unfortunately passed away at the age of 59. So I said to him, the most important thing about looking after yourself is starting today, starting right now, not waiting until. Now, coming back to that CEO, he is healthy, he's happy. He got a new Harley Davidson recently, and he feels alive. He's got a beautiful girlfriend, and he is just living life. And that is what my main purpose is boosting longevity, helping people have more energy, and making an impact where they are currently.
Wow, Vanessa. So you're basically helping people to live longer and live healthier lives. And I mean, this is something I think in today's world is much needed, because people, they work hard, they don't look after their health. And I'm like that myself, So how do you do this? I mean, what is the solution that you offer these people? How do you get them to actually get healthier, get thinner, get more active, get more energy? How do you do this? What's your secret? Tell us.
So for me, when I was 19, I was obese, pre-diabetic, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. And the doctor was a family friend of my parents. And he scared the living out of me by saying, Vanessa, you're 19 years old. If you don't change your habits right now, you will not have a quality life, and you may not even see the age of 30. And that scared me. Is this my strategy? No, not at all. But I must say, some people are driven by fear and some by pleasure. Now, what do I do differently? First of all, I listen to every single aspect of that person's life. Are they on the road? Are they in an office? Are they working from home? Are they a mom? Are they a CEO? What is their current lifestyle? What do they like to eat? What do they like to do? Are they social, non-social? Do they have kids? Don't they have kids? So there's so many aspects to a person that a one-pager or a template is not applicable to everyone. And that's why diets fail, because they want to give you one thing for everybody. And there's so many free stuff out there, but why doesn't it work? Because there's not an accountability partner that you can talk to, that you can engage with. The second part is we work a strategy out together. Now, for example, David, you might be an adventurer and like hiking and things like that. Then I'll talk to you about those aspects of your life. You might have 7 children and 3 wives. And I need to then incorporate that. And a lot of times I would like to meet couples together. I also have moms that are bringing their children to me now. And the fathers and the mothers sit with their children here in my office, and I can connect to them. Then thirdly, we do the consultation. So we do the scans, we do the measurements, we do the photos, and we do the blood test. Your body basically tells me, is a map of what's been happening in your body in the past. Then we work out a roadmap for where we want to go and the steps, and we break it up in small steps. So if you drink 7 cups of coffee, David, I won't tell you, listen, coffee's bad for you, it does all of this. I'll tell you, I'll tell you, you know what, instead of 7, let's get down to 5, because I've been an addict myself. And I know the challenges that goes with it. You can't just tell someone to stop. But then I do the check-ins. Then, like I said, the fourth one is providing that plan of action. But what is key to my success, to my client's success, because their success is mine, the fifth part is accountability. We have check-ins. We have weekly check-in, weekly or bi-weekly check-ins across the country. I have clients in Namibia, Johannesburg, Cape Town, where all across the country, I have customizable packages. And then lastly, the solution to every problem is the adaptability of the person and the flexibility and the willingness of the person to change. Because if their why isn't big enough, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not going to change you. So I do emphasize on why they are here. And when they slack, I re-emphasize that. And I want to say with every program, I mean, in business, every one of us listening today are business owners. Yes, those profit margins look amazing. Then something happens, then you go down. Then you do something different again and it goes up. The same in your health. It doesn't always look great. So for me, I've been obese, I've been thin, I've been healthy, unhealthy, I've been hospitalized, I've been married, or I am married, but you get that first year syndrome, either a student or as a married couple where you gain 10 kilograms because it's so lekker. And that is a problem. And I've expected children twice, and I've got my own business, studying and doing a lot of things that challenge myself. So if someone says to me, I don't have time to eat, I understand, but I teach you the strategies on how to make time for yourself and to prioritize yourself.
Wow. You know, I can see it because, you know, you've actually walked the journey yourself. So by walking the journey, you can actually help others to walk that journey. And one of the questions that just comes to mind as we're talking was, yesterday I was actually with Alan Hammond from Friday Club, and he was talking about, you know, giving an orange to somebody and saying, you know, if you take the orange and you put it in your pocket and you take it home with you and you put it in your drawer, it's not going to help you at all. But if you eat the orange, it's going to give you the vitamin C that you need. And I think that's the thing that you're doing, is you're actually helping people to eat that orange instead of taking it, you know, getting the advice that like many of us do, get that advice, go home and do nothing.
Yes.
Oh, that was good advice, you know. Tell your friends, but don't do it. So I think that's maybe your secret.
Definitely.
So tell us a little bit about your business, because now this is, you know, the name of your business is quite unique and I love it. And it actually really describes what you do. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
100%. Thank you for the question, David. Now, while I was in pursuit of my own health in my 20s, going to put it that way, I met amazing individuals in that journey and people that lifted me up, encouraged me. But none of them did a whole lot of things together. There were a lot of specialists, but they guided me in the right direction. And I realized there's so many other people that are sitting with the same dilemma. Now, when you want your car to be fixed, you take it to the best mechanic. If you want the best haircut, David, I see you have a great hairdresser, you go to the best hairdresser. Now, when you are a professional, you are an expert in your field. And what I've seen with that is I've met brilliant people, left brain, very left brain, very right brain people. They are so successful in their business. They're so successful in their marriage, their parenting, everything, but they lack the area of their health and prioritizing their health, because we call it the eyeball test. You can see if someone is healthy, basically malnutrition. We have a very big problem of malnutrition in the world. Even if you are overweight and you've got dark circles around your eyes, you might even suffer from malnutrition. And then you get people that are very thin. Now, my mission in my business was to simplify processes and to debunk those myths. Are eggs good for you? Are eggs bad for you? Does eggs cause cholesterol? Things like that where people are still to this day uneducated about things that were released in the media 100 years ago. But there was no big release again on saying, listen, this is untrue. This is not right. So that is why my business strives to re-educate people. And I am glad to say that we are doing so great in the last year that we are expanding. We expanded recently with 2 beautiful employees, my home executive and my personal assistant. Without them, I won't be able to work. But also, who's part of my business is my support network, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my husband, because they see my passion in my business. And they are supporting me 100%. Even my son, he's 5. And when I have meetings, I would say to him, Zander, Mama at a meeting. And he looks at me and he gives me a kiss and he says to me, okay, Mama, just don't be too long, okay? So even they understand that people are making a difference and that a business owner is a CEO of a company needs to work to make a difference. Now, my business is based on celebration. Now, I told you about the doctor that scared the living hell out of me, but it did change me. But how do I change people? With celebrating. We are striving for progress, not perfection. And we use data for that. And if you check out my social media, you check the people out with the stars. So that's why I wear stars, because my clients, people that look after themselves, are superstars. And we celebrate those small successes.
Wonderful, wonderful. But now, when I looked at your background on LinkedIn, and perhaps we can put that LinkedIn onto your onto the Clubhouse. Gerrit, if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be great. What I see is that you've got a background in banking. And how did you come from banking into doing what you're doing now? I mean, this is quite a very diverse, but yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your career, of how you came from banking into what you do now?
I was privileged enough to grow up in a house where my father had to start his own businesses. I remember that he was selling spook awesome at the SCO when I was 8 years old, then restaurants. So I was always in the business industry, and my father absolutely believed that experience was just as important than an education. Now, in my matric year, I said to my dad, I'm going to go study. He said to me, no. I was like, what? Every parent wants their child to go have a degree, have your honors, and then go look for work. And my dad said to me, he wants me to go overseas. He wants me to go au pair, find my head and come back, because he knows I am very dedicated in what I do. Now, what did that teach me? My dad taught me that, you know what, no matter where you are, in what situation or location, be the best in that job. I wanted to be the best au pair. And I did the firefighting course, the first aid course. And overseas, I even enrolled for a lot of courses, because my dad said to me, whenever you have an opportunity to learn, put up your hand. I came back to South Africa and he said to me, okay, go find a job. I was like, what? And my first job was in the banking industry as an admin lady. I was sending faxes. Yes, it was the year 2002, and we were still receiving and sending faxes in the claims department of UB Microloans, a division of ABSA. Now, in the corporate environment, they say this word efficiency. Now, I call it laziness with a gold star, because I'm lazy. Let me explain. In the sense that if I do something once and it takes me an hour, the next time I want to do it in 45 minutes. The next time I want to do it in 30 minutes. And I want to improve on that process every single time. Now, what does that result to in the corporate environment? Promotion. They want to give you more work. Now, one of the bosses there was called, his name is Dries Hutton. He saw the potential in me. And he gave me the opportunity to come and work for him as a data analyst. They sent me on programming courses. They introduced me to the IT department. They taught me I had programming at school, but it's not like SAS and SQL that I learned in the banking industry. And with that, my career started. So every 2 years, I was promoted to a different department. I put up my hand when there was an opportunity, when interviews had to be done, I put up my hand. So I put myself in other positions because my goal was to become a manager before the age of 30. Now, for those of you that have worked in the banking industry, it is quite difficult, first of all, to become a manager. And second of all, if you are female. Now, I was given the opportunity at the age of 27 by Pankaj Talwar at African Bank to run my own team as a campaigns manager of 4 men. And that year I grew into the person that I am. That was the most challenging, and there was mentors, and he sent us on courses and everything like that. But we grow in the most difficult situations in our lives. Now, while I was doing that, I was still studying. So my dad said, listen, education is still important. So I was studying my BCom risk management degree. That took me 10 years. So just to tell everyone, it was supposed to take me 6. It took me 10 years. Long story short, I then became a business analyst and an assistant project manager. But then I realized I was working 20 hours a day and I needed to make a change. And I wanted to have a family. Now I was at the age of 30. We've gotten married. And I said to my husband, we need to do something. And while I was doing this, I was giving classes at the gym. I was still guiding people on health, but not charging for it. I would measure people. I would run slimming clubs. You know, that ugly word. I hate that word, but people understand that word. And my dad said to, but convert this into a business. I said, great. 15 months part-time, I was working on my business and I could replace my salary. The first time I resigned from a corporate, my mother-in-law thought I was crazy, but I realized that was my passion, my purpose. Now, David, this is where my story takes a horrible turn. And when you start a new venture, you say, okay, great, this is my business plan. I've got this. Now, I resigned in April. We went overseas to Rio de Janeiro because I decided I wanted to go get drunk and have fun at the carnival without having any dependents. While we were there, we were setting up my office and everything, and I came back. I was ready to roll. Then I got the news from UNISA. Listen, you have to finish your degree this year or you have to convert it. I was like, okay, I'll do it. I had 6 third-year subjects left. Then my father was diagnosed with stage 4 aggressive lung cancer. The mat was ripped underneath me because my father is my mentor and my hero. But it didn't stop there. We had such a great time in Rio de Janeiro that we were blessed with a little girl inside of me. Now I'm thinking, listen, I wanted to wait 2 years. I had all these plans. But can I tell you, I didn't have a choice. I still had to be a wife, a businesswoman. I still had to be a student to complete my degree. And I want to say to you, in that year, that was also the most challenging part of my life. But it just reiterated my passion and my purpose in life. I gave birth to my daughter and she was 4 weeks old. She was at my graduation, which is amazing. My father could meet her, so that was great. And my business, all these awards that I have behind me was in that year. So that is a testimony from my side. When life gets hard, hit it back harder. And that is why I'm here where I am today. Now I'm helping other people to understand their current situations and how they can still look after themselves, no matter what's happening in their life.
Wow. Gee, that's fantastic. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, as you say, when you've got, you know, there are issues and the challenges in life, that's when you actually do start performing. And well done to you. Kudos to you for achieving that. So, you know, I can hear the passion in your voice. I can hear the passion about what you do. So tell us a little bit about what gets you up in the morning.
Great question. Now, my internal drive that gets me up in the morning is to know that there's someone out there that is not living their best life, that there's someone out there that's growing up without a grandfather, that's growing up without a father, a sister, a mother. To me, the reason why is we have so much access to so much data, but why are we becoming more ill? Why is our life expectancy going down? Why are we having an increase of chronic illnesses? So my passion and purpose is to assist people to identify key areas of concern now, before it becomes an issue, or when they have an issue, to help them to get back to where they were. Now, my father, like I mentioned, he was this great businessman, and he always were reading books. We had many books in our house, and now I understand why I have so many books in my house. But he passed away when my daughter was just 6 weeks old, and he will never have the opportunity to meet his other 3 grandchildren that has since been born. Also, his business, his name is still here in Zambezi, and I drive past it every day and I see Koos Fourie Motors. And it just reminds me that if there was someone like me in his life when he was growing up, he might have been able to live a little bit longer. He had a lot of money at that stage, but it couldn't buy him one more day. Now, to me, my, heart client customer is someone like Willie, where the doctor said, you know what? Every breath you take is a blessing because of your lifestyle change. That mother that's making a difference, that mother that's living longer, she's a better wife, that CEO that actually has one person or 100 people underneath them. If something happens to him or they become sick, all those lives are impacted. So it's not just that one person, but it's that person and who they actually touch. So that is my drive, to assist others to make a difference where they are currently at.
Wow. Now I can see that you're really passionate about this, and I think you're doing something that adds huge value to society. So thank you for your giveaway and doing that. But now what gets me is you went from risk management, you did the banking, you did all that, but that's not about health. And now you've changed this to, being health and giving people direction as far as their goals are concerned. So I can understand there's a bit of risk, understanding the risk and explaining the risk, but how does it work with regard to taking, your own career, going from basically your banking, the risk management, etc., now into goal setting and health? And, where was the change? Did you go and do another degree, or did you do something different? What did you do?
Thank you for the question, David. Yes, it's like flipping a pancake. It is complete opposites of a coin as well. Now, while I was working in the banking industry, I wanted to be the best in the department every time, no matter where I was. While I was doing that, and so you have your work life and then you have your personal life. Now, in my personal life, I decided to get educated, become an instructor, a gym instructor. I had to go to gym. So I'm one of those people, I paid for a Jewish family, and they taught me about money, the value of 5 cents. So I said to my dad, listen, I have to now go to gym. I'm only earning like 1,700 Rand a month at that stage. And it was 1,000 Rand was going to petrol and the others to my cell phone. So that was my 2 main areas that I was spending my money on. And I said to him, you know what, Dad, I'm going to become a gym instructor so that they pay me to come and exercise. And that is exactly what I did with Reebok Education. I became a spinning and a group instructor. So before work and after work, I was in the gym, giving classes, changing lives, giving tips, reviewing people's goals, motivating them. And also the gym had a goal. If you get more than 8 people in your class, you get, 100 Rand a lesson instead of 80 Rand a lesson. And I was motivated by that 20 Rand. And how do you get more customers? By giving them more than they expected. So from the age of 21, I was in the gym industry. I was cycling. I then also had a goal of doing a triathlon before the age of 27. And I did that. But while I was in that journey, I was always after hours. I was in that industry helping people struggling with their health, struggling with performance. And then at the age of 27, like I mentioned, I became a manager. And it was very difficult for me because I was working so many hours and it just didn't feel, I wasn't fulfilled. I was running 164 campaigns every day, every month in the banking industry. And I was helping people grow and attending leaderships and doing motivational things at work and in corporate, but also doing the wellness side of it, running wellness programs while I was in the banking industry. But it was when I decided, listen, I went to Stephanie Vermeulen's EQ course. And she did warn Pankaj Talwar and said to him, listen, I cannot guarantee that these leaders are going to stay when they attend my course. And that's exactly what happened to me. But Pankaj is one of those individuals. He called himself the conductor. He was introducing me to different people and lessons in life. And one of the questions she asked, if I did not need the money, what would I do? If I did not need the money, what would I do? And you had to ask yourself that. And it was a 5-day workshop. So that is my ultimate goal, to take people through a 5-day workshop where they discover themselves, because that's when I discovered myself. And this was at the age of 28, 29. And I realized, and then your dreams start talking to you, your subconscious mind starts talking to you. And I was discussing with some people and they said, but Vanessa, we can hear it's your passion. You can make money from it. And I was like, how do I do that? How do I go from an employee mindset to a business owner? And then someone told me about Robert Kiyosaki. And I read his book. I listened to Rich Dad Poor Dad. I had his cash flow quadrant in my cupboard here. And then I was introduced to Klaus Boom and Rahul Benigio from Amway. And they helped me shift my mind into a sales type of environment where I can live out my passion, my purpose, but still make money. We still have to pay for petrol, for school fees, to go dancing. So we have to make money. It doesn't help you follow your passion, your purpose, but it doesn't make money. Robert Kiyosaki says he has a fundamental problem with when they say follow your passion, because that doesn't make you money most time. He says, find something that makes you money and it will become your passion. I mean, he was selling printers and he decided he's going to be the best in it. And that is why I am now in the wellness industry, but I'm thankful for my banking industry, for the banking knowledge that I obtained. All that knowledge, all those courses, all those people that uplifted me and educated me for where I am today. So one of the things about leadership is when you are progressing and you going up in the ladder, remember to reach back and take someone else's hand and bring them with you. Because I was one of those individuals that someone else was reaching back and picking up. So now I can say I'm living my fulfilled life, and so little of the world is actually living their passion and their purpose. But I'm definitely one of them.
Wow, Vanessa, thank you for sharing. I mean, you've actually shared some amazing tips there for people. So, you know, just for the people that are listening in, and I'm sure that they've gained some huge knowledge and just some insights into what you've done in your journey has enlightened them. So thank you for doing that. And thank you for stepping back and helping them. Thank you. So now, where's the next step? What's your next step that you want to go for?
The next steps I want to go for is running workshops for individuals, for companies, where you re-educate people about themselves, because this will result in less sick days, more energy, and having an impact wherever you are. Even if you are just taking tickets at a carnival, to be the best person that you can be. And for me, I'm thinking about why not, if I could franchise, if I use Anneke Tron, she's one of my great idols as well, where she realized that she's one person, but how can she impact hundreds and thousands of lives? And she franchised Unique Health and Beauty. And I'm thinking, why not? Can I help Tannie Hetty in Ventersdorp to have a journey to health? If she shares the same values, the same passion to help other people, so that I'm not only one person making a difference, but by educating others so that they can make a difference in their towns.
Wow, wow. I'm looking forward to that, to seeing how you do that. It's going to be a fantastic journey. Now, obviously, there are other people out there that are doing something similar to you. Have you done so like a kind of assessment to see, you know, who's your competition? Are they offering similar type of service? What do they do that's similar to what you do? And how do you actually do it better than they do it?
Yes, there is. And I would say gyms have trainers that give you exercise programs. Then you have doctors that do blood tests. Then you have Discount that gives you products. Then you have coaches that helps you, wellness coaches that help you with your wellness. And then you have dietitians that provide diets. But we are the only business that do all 5 things under one roof. And no one does it like us because we celebrate, we challenge, and we teach.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So you're basically an integrated service that's offering all these different aspects. And I think the added benefit that you've just spoken about earlier was that you walk the road with them and that you don't let them put that orange into a drawer or into the cupboard.
Yes.
You let them eat it, you help them eat it, and continuously. I think that's really your unique strategy. If I'm correct, am I correct?
Yes, definitely, because we forget.
So now, obviously, being part of the CEO Business Club, and there are a number of CEOs in this organization, how can we help you to actually get better at what you're doing and help you in your business?
Now, whenever a staff member is booked off sick, it costs the business money because that individual, those 8 hours that they are not there, it makes processes stand still. Now, I would like to run the fellow CEO members that are watching this program or that are looking for a program that actually works, so that I run a wellness program with them. Because if you have happier, healthier employees, they are more productive, more constructive, and less aggravated. So you'll have less fighting around the table, because if they are happy within themselves, they are happy with those around them. But it starts with it. Well, they always say it starts at home. And when they say divorce your work from your home life, I'm yet to meet that person where life at home is falling apart and they are accelerating in their career. Those two are integrated, because you need to give something back to your staff and even yourself. So the fellow CEOs that's watching this right now, if you just want to do a risk assessment of yourself, of your health currently, to see where you're at, I can give you tips and tricks, and then we can talk about how can you give back to your staff. Now, the CEO benefits, like I mentioned, less sick days, workforce has more energy, resulting in improved productivity and leading to bigger profits.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much for that. So I think what I'm going to do quickly, there's some questions that I see that have come up in Clubhouse, and also those of you on the Zoom, if you could put your questions in the chat, that'd be great. So I'm going to start here with Leanne Duarte. She's asking a question. She says, I'm going to read from the Clubhouse chat. Vanessa, you're a fantastic speaker. What is your biggest secret to winning at being the best health and self? At being
health
and self, yeah. Being winning at being your best health and self. That's what her question is.
Thank you so much for that question. And I want to start off with the opposite. Do I always smile? Is my life always perfect? No, it is not. Do I face challenges in life? Yes. Do I have people that bring me down? Do I have people that pick me up? So very, very important. When you look at an individual out there, we know what we know, but we also don't know what we don't know. And they are facing real life challenges. Now, what I do when I'm facing those challenges, I go to YouTube and I watch Mulligan Brothers, Motivosity, things that are specific to that situation, because it's programming of your mind. So I was a computer programmer, and the program will only give you the data output, what you give it and what you request from it. So a lot of times we need to evaluate what we are thinking about ourselves, especially late at night when the world's gone quiet. And that is the most dangerous part of the day, where people start analyzing their day, start talking bad to themselves. But that is the most important. How you end your day, you're going to start the next day. So I always end my evening with gratitude, watching something light and fun. And even when life hits, remember you have friends and family. And I also join great networks like the CEO Business Club. I've also in a network called Toastmasters. Now, Toastmasters thinks it's amazing. Yes, it is. But it makes me become comfortable being uncomfortable. And I would like to challenge everyone here that watching this today is to whatever you want to do, put your steps in place and to become your best self. But you have to bath every day, right? Well, most people do. So you have to program your mind every day.
Thank you, Vanessa. I hope that answers your question, Leanne. So the next question is from Gerrit on Zoom. And Gerrit's asking, how do you see your business growth path over the next 5 years?
Thank you for the question, Gerrit. For me, we are expanding, a bigger expansion. So we are actually opening our first extended branch in Pretoria East. And that will be the first time that we are moving from our home base, basically servicing to areas, because a lot of people are in Pretoria East and we want to see them more regularly. And also to employ more individuals. For me, it is about whenever you employ more people, you are making an impact in their life and they are making an impact in their lives. Like that one lady that works for me, she supports 7 people. And I would like to employ 7 more of her and 7 more Jolenes and create franchises, if I can use the word, in every country. But also moving into corporate environment where I could run wellness days for them, either a 1-day workshop, a 1-week workshop, where I can impact those lives of those individuals. Like when I was in the corporate environment, Pancash introduced me to people like myself, where I could reevaluate life mastery, personal mastery, emotional intelligence, all those things. So for me, it is changing 1 million lives before I die.
Wow. Okay. That's a big picture. Fantastic. And now, one of the things that you spoke about, obviously, you serve clients across South Africa, and obviously being on Clubhouse here, I mean, I'm sure we've got maybe some overseas people. Is it possible that they can actually get hold of you in other ways, for example, on Zoom? Can you consult to them on Zoom or another type of video media that they could actually talk to you on?
Yes, that is absolutely. We are international, if I can use that word. Like I mentioned, I have a client in Namibia, Cape Town, Johannesburg, and even people in England. When we walk a journey, we determine what are your needs. And also across the country, there are different mediums that I can use, and we bring them all together. I've also got clients that come into my studio for 15 minutes. They do the assessment with Jolene, they do all their tests, and then they go back to the office. And then we discuss the results over Zoom. So yes, I am online and in person and across the country and the world.
You mentioned tests, Vanessa. What tests would that be?
The test that we are currently using is intolerance test. So it identifies the foods that you are allergic to. That causes inflammation. Now, inflammation causes dreaded diseases. Dreaded diseases cause death. So it's very important when you can actually eat to become more inflamed, or you can eat to become less inflamed. Now, I did this test a year ago, and it's completely changed my life, my husband's life, and my 2 children that are both 5 and 7 years old, to identify what I'm not supposed to eat. Like, I'm not supposed to eat eggs, milk, almonds, peanuts, what was the other one? And banana. Now, if you are competing in a fitness competition, those are the main things they tell you to eat. But because I cut out those things, I got double the results in a quicker time. Now, that is my main blood test that we do. And then we also check in studio, or when you are across the country, I then ask you, I give you a list of tests to go do at ANPATH to do your acid levels, because that tells me a lot about your drinking habits, your drinking and eating habits, your iron levels, your sugar levels, and lastly, your cholesterol. I've helped so many people that did not know they had cholesterol. And with our quantum scan that we did, it identified the lipids in their blood is not on the exact normal level. And when they went for the cholesterol test, or we did it in studio, it was actually a 9 or a 16, where it's supposed to be between a 4 and a 5.5. So that is very important, to use data and information to drive whatever your goals are.
Sure. No, I think I can see you do a comprehensive test with regard to these various individuals that are your clients. I want to ask you another thing is, obviously, I've been in that situation where I've been a little bit overweight. When I say a little bit, maybe a little bit more exaggerated on the little. But, and it's been a situation where I've been the same weight and slowly gaining for a number of years. As I'm getting older, I basically keep on, even though I do exercise a little bit on the lower side, and then, I find that I'm just keep on putting on weight. And how do you help people like that? Or similar to myself?
Very good question, David. Because we are becoming older, our metabolism does slow down. So that is very important. And also, the older we get, the more engraved our habits become. And a lot of times when I ask you, David, please just write down your food diary for the next week before you come and see me, you will actually realize when you eat, what you eat, the amount that you eat, and also lack of water. I see a lot of my clients, they come and sit on my couch, they drink 7 cups of coffee and 1 glass of water. So they are so dehydrated. And what does your body do? It actually retains. So whatever comes in, it keeps it inside. And a lot of people skip meals, for example. So David, whenever you skip a meal, just remember, it is like having a salary. You know exactly how much amount you're going to get at the same day. So your body's the same. But now you are a consultant on contract. Now you know that next month you might not have money. So now you're keeping a little bit back for yourself. Now your body works the same way. If you are not eating consistently, more or less the same time every day, and the quality of food, you are treating your body like a consultant and not like an employee. So very, very important to identify where those loopholes are. And you mentioned exercise. A lot of people go exercise, but they still gain weight. So why are all marathon runners not thin? Why are all gym instructors not thin? Because they exercise, they are fit, their heart muscles are good, their lung muscles are good, but they're consuming the wrong nutrients, perhaps at the wrong time. So with you, David, come see me and we'll pinpoint the problem.
Thank you so much. So in closing, I mean, this has been a wonderful interview, and I must say I've really enjoyed it, and you've actually given me a lot of tips, not only just in health, but on life skills, and that has been a huge value. I want to ask you, what to all the listeners here in Clubhouse and here on Zoom, can you give us some advice that we could actually take home with us, take that orange and go and eat it? What would that advice be from you today?
My advice would be to start small. Whenever you have a big goal, let's say to be listed on the JSE, for example, where do you start? You start with your why. Now, why do you want to become more healthy? If your why doesn't make you cry, it is not your why. And I want to reiterate that, because what is my why? When I talk about my why, I get the frog in my throat, my eyes start tearing up. And my why I do what I do is I have pain, I have my health challenges, but I want to be alive for my children for as long as I possibly can and be the best example for them by being example. Muhammad Gandhi says, my life is my message. Every breath we take is a gift. And in the book, The Greatest Salesman on Earth, one of the scrolls, I listen to that as well in my meditation when I go for walks, is it says, if this is my last day, I will give it my best. I will zealously inspect everything I put into my body, because I want myself to be an example, because if I can do it, so can you. And I want to encourage everyone that is here today. Remember, growth is not just educational. That is a big part of what you read, the people that you surround yourself with. But I want you to eat for health and to have quality food. Some people say, but it's yucky, or water tastes like nothing. Exactly, it tastes like nothing. I want you to just, one tip, if you forget everything I said today, everything, get a glass, measure 250 milliliters, put an alarm on your phone for every hour on the hour, or use your watch for every 60 minutes, down that 250 milliliters of water from 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock. Your health will improve. Your energy levels will improve. And everything else, you'll have more energy and you'll have a better life. So in closing, look after yourself, be mindful, and make the time for yourself like you make meetings with employees, with customers. You are your own employee, you are your own CEO, you are your own president of your own country, you're the king of your kingdom. See yourself as that king and make time to look after yourself.
Vanessa, thank you so much. I love that. I'm going to try the 250 mils of water every hour. So 250 mils from when to when?
8 till 4. 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock.
Okay, I'm writing that down. 8 to 4, great. So we've been talking to Vanessa Botha, founder and CEO of Journey to Health ZA. And if you would like to go and meet with her, she is here in Pretoria. You can also get hold of her. Where do we get hold of you, Vanessa? Please tell us. How do we get hold of you?
I'm so glad you asked. You can get hold of me on my Facebook. We are very active on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok now as well. So we're getting there. I'm almost 40 and we're learning how TikTok works. But my email address is Vanessa, VANESSA, at journey, like the race, and then the number 2, health, not hell, because it's not hell when you walk with me. You will not go hungry. .co.za. Vanessa at journeytohealth.co.za. And also, like I mentioned, on our Facebook, we are Journey to Health and Mrs. Vanessa Botha.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, I'd like to thank you very much for your time and for sharing all these wonderful tips that you've given us. I'll certainly take up your water challenge of 250 mils from 8 to 4 every hour. And let's see what happens. And definitely we'll make an appointment to come and have a coffee date, water date with you.
A water date.
Right. Vanessa, thank you. And I'm going to hand back through to Peter Orkamp, from the CEO Business Club. Peter, over to you.